I caught my fiance mocking me with his ex-girlfriend. Now he wants forgiveness.
Not funny.
My fiance Dale and I have been together for 5 years. We are as solid as I guess anyone thinks they are before something like this blindsides them.
Uh-oh.
I am in total and complete shock. I am just sitting here shaking. I can't even cry yet. This is sad. By the way, this comes from Deleted. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So Dale is at work right now. I haven't texted him or called him or anything at this point. When we got together, he had just broken up with his college sweetheart. Like weeks?
Days? Minutes? Seconds.
She was his first love. I was afraid I was a rebound. I think I would be afraid too. Too. He said that wasn't true. I believed him. Your first mistake. The rest is history. Sorry, OP. This sucks. Sorry if this is Russian all over the place. Nothing makes sense in my head right now. I used his laptop about 2 hours ago to open his contacts list he has saved on there so I could get addresses for our wedding invites. They're about to get married.
Oh boy.
I've been telling him to get those over to me for over a week, so I decided to do it. He keeps his contact info in his email. When I opened his email, I saw an email at the very top of his inbox with the subject line, Jen, not real name, how can I, when? The subject line got cut off after that, so I couldn't see more without clicking. Jen is the name of his ex from college. I'm going to pause right here to snoop or not to snoop. To snoop or not to snoop. You know, we have a rule.
We do.
On OK Storytime. John, if you want to tell them the rule.
If it comes up, if you see it naturally, organically, through no fault of your own, okay.
Yeah.
You can check it out.
Probable cause, you know?
Probable cause.
If the police are seeing some substances, you know, peeking through the door, then they have probable cause to go through and be like, hey, what is that illegal substance in there? You know,
if I'm carrying a bazooka, you can come up and investigate.
I can go, yeah. Is that a real bazooka? That looks like a real bazooka.
We got to figure it out.
I feel this falls under the probable cause scenario.
I think so. She saw, I mean, what a great title. You know, that's something you have to click on. Click-through rate is off the charts on that.
Yeah, dude.
Off the charts.
And hey, hopefully it's clickbait. And Jen is his insurance agent or something.
Exactly.
You know? But I sat there for 10 minutes trying to decide if I should open it or not. Snoop or not to snoop? That is the question. I decided he should have nothing to hide. So I did it. Click. Snoop. I think we're okay.
We are in safe territory.
I think we're in safe territory.
Because of the context of, probable cause.
Yep. The rest of the subject line was, Jen, how can I when you still exist? Now I want to read more.
Oh, God. I'm intrigued.
When you still exist.
100% click-through rate.
The email was her replying to a string of emails between the two of them that has gone on for over a week. Long story short, Dale is still in love with Jen.
Ooh.
Oh, baby.
He's, sending his love letters in between his wedding invites.
Why?
God.
Why get to the point of wedding invites? Man is getting cold feet and running all the way back to his ex with them.
He is marathon sprinting with ice blocks on his feet right now.
He said he thinks about her constantly. That he'll never find another woman like her. Even worse. John.
No.
This is already bad.
No.
But it can't. But it gets worse.
No, it does.
It gets worse. There's even worse.
No.
There's even worse.
I don't believe it.
Believe it, John.
Read it to me and then I'll believe it.
All right. This is going to be like an ice block going through your head right now.
I can't accept it.
Even worse is that he makes fun of me.
Worse.
And she laughs about it.
Oh.
Giving those ha-ha-ha's, LOLs over email. In one email, she asks him why I don't make him happy and isn't he satisfied with me? I can't remember word for word. And I don't feel like reading it again, but he said something like, she tries. She's just not good though. Way too vanilla. Oh. Oh,
buddy.
I love vanilla. Vanilla is my favorite ice cream flavor.
Stop! Really?
That and goat cheese pear.
Why is that the most Sam thing you've ever said in your life?
Blue cheese and blue goat cheese pear.
There we go. Blue goat cheese. That's it was 99%. Now it's at 110%.
So good. If anyone hasn't had blue goat cheese pear ice cream,
this guy, if you don't want to be with someone, tell them.
Communicate early and often. Why are you hiding this? It seems like the love of your life wants you. So just run over with your ice blocks over to her and tell.
This could have all been avoided.
This could have all been avoided.
It could have all been avoided.
And you could have been in the moral clear, you know?
Yes.
End the relationship, then pursue, your childhood sweetheart. Hey, that happens. You know, I'm not gonna poo-poo you realizing that your love of your life was past, but as long as you're like communicating about these realizations in real time.
Yeah, but what
Still
you
sucks.
have done is bad.
That's bad.
You did not do what we just said.
You did not do that. You did not do that. You are in the moral wrong. You have been designated the stinkiest of men. Your stench travels far and wide.
Ugh.
As far as maybe you're running with those ice blocks.
Ugh.
So, I love her, but the only way I can get off. Oh, we're getting a little spicy right now. I love her, but the only way. Oh no. Put I seek you in the chat if you know what's coming. I swear I didn't read the rest, but oh my god. Okay. All right, let me buckle in. All right. I feel like I'm on I'm going on the top of the roller coaster.
We're about to go down.
All right, we're about to go down.
To go deep down.
I love her. Starts out sweet, but the only way I can get off is when I think about effing you and how wet you'd get.
How did this turn into it? Oh God.
I think it goes on.
We're not done.
And again, OP is not quoting. This is not verbatim. This is as best as she can remember it. It seems like she remembers a lot.
Yeah.
I think every inch of my bed, probably speaking in square inches, surface area, was soaked from your kitty. I have the biggest hard-on just thinking about it. All right.
That's romantic.
This guy is all...
He's romantic.
Like, I love a slip and slide just like every other guy. But I don't know if I want to be... I don't want like the water bed to be on top of the bed. You know?
You don't want any leaks.
I don't want leaks. I like a little leakage is fine, but every square inch of the bed wet.
I'm gonna be honest today, boys. I did not wake up and drive into the office today prepared to have this conversation with you. I honestly, my spirit was not ready for that today.
Hey, you know what? Get ready.
Here we are.
We're plunging in. We're getting wet and wild today.
Yep.
We're getting wet and wild.
Every inch of the bed, you got to get a new mattress every time, dude.
Yeah, dude. You got to air that out. You got to put your mattress in the dryer.
I'm just saying, washing machines exist for a reason.
John said, I want that slip and slide. That slip and slide is mine.
Sue him.
Anyway, we got
more.
We're not done. All right. So we just heard poetry come out of Dale's mouth right now. I think we can all agree.
Some villainous poetry.
Villainous poetry.
Evil villain poetry.
Every square inch wet and wild.
Yeah.
What poetry doth return from the mouth of Jen? What poetry? I'm sure she will be as verbose. She answered with a bunch of lols and said she felt sorry for the poor girl. All right. Again, this is terrible. But that is the most vanilla answer I've ever heard. Man gives some Walt Whitman poetry up in this email chat, and she just says, lol.
I think OP's trading premium vanilla bean for great value vanilla. That's what I'm sensing right here.
Yeah. OP is that premium bean.
Yep.
Premium bean.
Dude, the most premium bean.
most premium bean.
Oh. So bad.
Yeah, I feel like this if anything, this person seems vanilla with that kind of response.
Yeah. I will the one thing I'll say is at least she didn't pile onto her. And at least she was like, not that, by the way, that's not like, oh, she's good. No. This is still horrible. But I'm at least glad for OP that she didn't have to read anything more painful than that.
That's good.
After going through
that's
that
good. That's
Dale's
good.
message.
Well, another thing he said, was that he made fun of me for having a large scar across my chest onto my left front airbag, which had disfigured the nipple a bit.
Dang.
I think that's cute. It's like your nipple's winking at me.
That's yes. There we go.
It's like a little like boop. Yeah. That's cute. That's cute. I love.
What do you love, Sam? Wait. Tell me what you love.
You know, like a disfigured nip sounds cute.
Yeah.
Sounds
you go.
cute. You know?
There you go.
Sexy.
Sexy. Unique. You know, I don't want my nips vanilla. I want them a little different.
Throw a little mix in there.
Throw a little mix in there.
Yeah.
Rememberable.
Throw a little wink, a little spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Something to remember them by.
There we go.
You know, you see
memento.
1,000 nips.
Yep. Oh
and
wow.
I haven't seen 1,000 nips.
Oh, new video coming soon.
But you see, you know, like they might all blend together. But this nip is different.
Stood out among the rest.
Yes. So I'm just looking at OP, and she's seeming less vanilla by the day.
That's right.
Well, he said it looked like something out of Edward Scissorhands. That is a great movie. That is a great movie. I mean,
I haven't seen it.
What? Artful? A little funky? But beautiful? Pulls at your heartstrings? Sounds like a compliment to me.
Dude, you're doing some wordsmithing right now.
Edward Scissorhands is great.
You should try that out on someone.
Yeah, there we go.
Girl, your nipples look like Edward Scissorhands. It's
the greatest. It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah,
and that's you.
Hey, it is. Shout out. Who's in that movie?
Johnny Depp.
Tim Burton, Johnny Depp. Tim Burton, Johnny Depp. That is almost too much to bear. He might as well have one-twoed me in the gut. I was in an awful car accident when I was a teenager. I had a big piece of dashboard shatter and basically fly into my chest. I almost passed away. I've never been ashamed of that scar, as you should not be. It's like a constant reminder that I survived something a lot of people don't, and I should be grateful to be alive. Memento mori, or what? Memento mori, so you can carpe those DMs.
There you go.
The slight disfigurement of the nipple doesn't bother me either. I've always had the attitude, if someone doesn't want me because of a nipple, F them.
F them.
F them.
Or don't F them.
But to hear him make fun of something he knows is the result of something so major in my life. My friend was thrown from the back seat and lost her life. Is just, I have no words.
I don't know if there's any. I mean, the Dale has done so many things that you can't come back from already, but he's about to win the world record of things you can't come back from. Just like stacking on Olympic levels of things you can't come back from.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. I feel like we've sealed his fate.
Oh yeah.
TLDR bot, what's going on? Does it work
Bobby
yet?
Bot.
Huh? Is it Bobby Bot now?
Bobby.
Bobby Bot. Can you give me a summary?
I can't because I didn't start it.
Okay.
Give me 2 minutes.
All right. We're calling it Bobby Bot.
Bobby Bot.
Bobby Bot. Isn't that fun to say?
Fun. Bobby
Bobby
Bot.
Bot.
Sometimes he thinks you say Bobby Butt, so you have to like really get the T in
Bobby
the bot.
Bot.
Yep.
Well, can we just say Bobby? Bobby.
I like that.
Bobby.
I guess as long as a story. I don't know if we've ever had a story that has had Bobby. In it, so.
Bobby Bot.
Bobby Bot.
All right. The emails go on. Some are explicit. One, she describes how she just one hand clapped while thinking about he used to go down on her for hours. I'm assuming that these emails are just a small portion of their contact. The first email in the thread was Dale talking about how he doesn't think he can marry me and he thinks about leaving me almost constantly. Then freaking do it. Nut up.
Instead of dropping nuts.
He said if she lived in his state, he'd had already left me. Move. It didn't sound like the first time they'd reconnected. So I'm guessing if I snooped, I'd find text too. I don't need to snoop further. I've seen all I need to. Obviously, I'm not going to stay. Despite what he said about me, I'm pretty great. And I know this. He said he misses back door. Yep, there we go. We got that comprehension right there.
We're understanding. We're
He
picking
misses
up
that back door.
Down.
He misses the old Devil's Meat Cave. Is that what they...
Same with Honor calls it.
No,
Maybe.
I call it the Lord's Meat Cave.
The Lord's Meat Cave.
The Lord's
Wow.
Meat Cave. That's what those prudes call it. But
Yeah, because shout out to Catholics, right?
Shout out to Catholics.
That's the
That's
old
a
tried
loophole.
and true.
Yep.
Emphasis on the whole.
Yep. Apparently, I'm too vanilla to give it to him. The thing is, I've tried to initiate that. All right, we're going into butt play.
Oh, God.
Mhm.
Bobby butt. What's going on?
Oh boy.
I've tried to initiate that as I enjoy it, and he told me he wasn't into that. So now, who's the booty prude today? So he lied just to cast me in a bad light. So I'm so effing mad, and I just want to throw this crap into a pile and light it on fire. But I won't. Because I don't want to give him the satisfaction of knowing how much he hurt me. I'm not sure why I posted here. It's too fresh to talk to my friends and family. Should I just pack my stuff and leave with no explanation? Should I just ghost? I've got too much dignity to scream and cry in front of him. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I want comfort or advice or what. I just need someone to know what happened so I don't feel so alone right now. And there is an update.
Oh God.
There is a thick, juicy update. But John,
Yes, sir.
my guy,
Yep.
what do we think OP should do here?
Well, it sounds like she wants to share it with someone. Which also great that she already, did it here, I guess, with thousands of internet strangers and us. But I would say, like, hey, who is a person that you can talk to? That sounds like something that is probably going to be therapeutic and maybe help her think through everything that's going on. And then two, I think maybe instead of like packing up everything right now, just like, can we get like a hotel or something? Like just like it sounds like she, which very understandably doesn't want to be around him right now and kind of needs a little bit of space to kind of like figure out what that next step is because she's kind of like up in the air. I think that is maybe good. Remove yourself so you don't have to like face him because that sounds like, like
Terrible.
She doesn't want to, do this whole thing of breaking down and everything. Like give yourself a little space. And I feel like the next answers will probably come to you more clearly. This is a lot.
Yeah, I don't think you want to process all of this while he's there.
Yes.
And the fact, I mean, like they live together. So it's like, I think space, process, get a friend to maybe process with you, and then go to him and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Yeah. I would even say like, hey, something came up. I need I need to go to a friend's house for a few days.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah. Buy yourself some time with that.
Yeah.
Have a therapist or, can run around and find one. So knock on some doors.
Yeah.
That could work too. Ask chat, man.
Chat GPT, your emotional therapist.
That is true.
Doesn't replace therapy, but hey, in a pickle, good help.
There you go.
Good help. But we got an update, John. Last night, I texted Dale and told him that my best friend Jake had gotten into a fight with his boyfriend. Oh, The cover story.
Aha.
The cover story. And I was going to stay with him so he could vent and have somebody with him. I told Jake what happened and showed him the emails. I took pictures of them on my phone in case I needed them for whatever reason. Receipts. Very important. Very important to have receipts. Jake and his boyfriend, Mike, who had obviously not gotten into a fight, was there, and they were infuriated. And we were all sorts of crying together for a while. They stayed with me almost all night, helping me figure out my next moves. We all agreed that taking the high road was the best route, as it usually is. Shout out OP for taking the high road, even though this absolute meat grinder of a poop head, Dale,
got him.
Got him. Did not do you the same. Hey, when they go low, you go high.
Best revenge is living your best life.
Ooh, amen, brother.
Talk about
it. Amen, brother. But we got a little bit more. So we got a lot more. We're only like a quarter of the way through. There's a lot here. We made a list of all things that were necessary to get out of the apartment. Mike is a property manager for a different apartment complex. So this morning he called my property manager and gave her a very condensed, detail-free version of what was happening. I've always thought it important to get to know your property manager in case you ever have a situation where they can help you out. So she always really liked me. Dale and I have been paying rent on a month-to-month basis for about 3 months because we were starting to look for other houses to purchase after we settled down after the wedding.
Thank God.
Thank God you didn't purchase that. My property manager told Mike that we're working out getting my name off the rental agreement, and that wouldn't be a problem, and to not worry about the 30-day notice that she typically requires for a tenant moving out. As far as finances go, I make about 70% of our combined income, and Dale only covers 30%.
Poor.
When Jake, Mike, and I were discussing the logistics of me moving out, Mike brought up the point that Dale does not make enough to cover the required 3x rent in income each month, meaning he will most likely be given notice to move out if he cannot find a roommate fast. We lived in a 1-bedroom, so I doubt I'll be able to find someone quickly who is willing to sleep on a couch versus having their own bedroom.
And you know what's so beautiful about this? This is not a intentional, devilishly scheming revenge. This is OP making the best decision for herself and letting the cards fall where they will.
Amen,
brother.
Yeah, Sweet Memory says, fumbled the bag, my guy. Avocado Zerker says, damn, LFG, OP, 70% of the income. Dale wanted a sugar mama. That's why he stayed. Maybe that's true. But he's losing his sugar mama, especially since I purchased the couch. So there isn't even one there anymore. The thought of this brings me great pleasure, as I'm sure you can imagine. Jake and I each called out of work today, and we rented one of those mover pickup trucks. We were pretty organized after making our list, and it only took us a couple of trips to get my stuff out and into Jake and Mike's garage for the time being. Dale texted me a couple times asking how Jake is and if I'm coming home after work tonight. I told him I'm already home. Not exactly a lie. I was there at the time. And then I said Jake was going to be okay. And then I just couldn't believe how awful people can be to the people they love. Oh.
It's coming. I'm ready for it.
Dale agreed. So funny, Dale. And said that he was glad he has such a good girl like me. It was tempting to say something about how, I'm just so vanilla that way. But I didn't.
Aha.
Oh, I just told him to always remember that, how great I am to him. He said, of course he would. That felt pretty satisfying, and I hope he does remember that every day for the rest of his life. Whoever it was that posted about vanilla ice cream idea, Jake, Mike, and I laughed about that hysterically last night. It was the first thing that made me laugh like that, and maybe the only thing for a while. So thank you for that. I'm thinking, I don't know what that comment was, but I'm thinking it's just leaving a giant tub of vanilla ice cream in the house.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, just no note, just vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
I didn't end up ruining any of Dale's stuff. I didn't print out emails and send them to his family or friends. I didn't do anything destructive or spiteful. However, after all my stuff was out, Jake and I made a trip to the grocery store. Okay, so OP has gotten the stuff out, but again, Dale does not know yet.
Nope.
Dale is completely in the dark. I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think Dale is going to react?
I think the second he realizes, he is going to see just how effed he actually is.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have the money to cover the rent.
Oh yeah.
He's
screwed.
Gonna have, like, he was thinking about getting a house, doing all these things. And you know what? That's probably just the tip of the iceberg of what OP was providing in this relationship.
Oh, yeah.
So he's gonna realize, oh, I'm absolutely screwed. And remember that saying we always say, that everyone always says, you lose them how you get them. I'm wondering what's gonna happen with Dale and Little Miss Boothang in the future.
I mean, there's a reason they're not together. I mean, I don't think they're. I think it's just the fantasy of them being together that they're enjoying. I don't think there's actually anything there.
Yeah, the fact that it's like wrong for them.
Yeah,
very wrong for them to be doing that, and it's like,
yeah,
that ain't something to build relationship.
No. So, oh boy, strap in. Get those booty, all right. If you're sitting down, scooch that booty around,
Oh,
get some blood flowing in the booty because we're sitting into this story.
That's a lot of motion, my brother.
Dude,
get that booty.
You're reenacting his email to Jen right now.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Are your booties ready?
My butt's ready.
Your butt's ready?
Oh yeah.
Is your mind ready?
Dude, open.
Are your eyes ready?
I'm ready
to see what frickin's gonna happen next? Because it is gonna be insane.
Give it to
Dale's
me.
about to find out.
I'm ready.
I took the poster's advice and brought one of those big plastic tubs of vanilla ice cream. Remember, Dale was like, oh, she's too vanilla for me. Jen, you're spicy. I like you more. And I left it on the counter with a note and my engagement ring. And I wrote, I know vanilla isn't your favorite flavor, but this is the only vanilla you'll be eating from now on. XOXO.
And you know why?
Oh, yeah.
That's so clapworthy?
Yeah.
She's not going crazy and
Nope.
like trying to, she's not bringing herself to a negative space.
Nope.
She is simply and clearly pointing out the hypocrisy and laying it out for him.
Yep.
And it's just so witty and clever and hilarious.
It's
also,
awesome.
It's perfect.
It's poetic.
It's perfect.
It's beautiful. I mean, I am human. I had to leave him with a little bit of a bang. So here I am, staying with Mike and Jake for a while. You might think this story is over. We got a little bit more. But
oh, yeah.
John, we're barely halfway done.
Oh, God.
We're not even halfway done, in fact. We got so much juice left to squeeze. Again, Dale does not know yet.
Nope.
I have no idea how he's going to react, and I think it's going to be juicy.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be juicy.
Ready
So
for the downfall.
finding an apartment will be no issue for me. I am comfortable financially on my own with a stable job. I have to deal with deposits I put down for the venues for both the wedding and the reception. And I can't right now. I'm too much of a mess emotionally. I will be by the week's ends, though, as I know I can't put it off any longer if there's any hope at all of getting refunded. I had already booked our honeymoon, but I did pay the extra for insurance in case the trip needed to be canceled. I honestly don't really know what exactly the insurance covers. I'll have to look into it. Whether or not I can get a refund on Dale's tickets, I will be going on my first trip out of the country on my own, and I am happy about this. It's the one bright thing to look forward to through this whole mess. I will sell my wedding dress, which was a low-cut dress, by the way, and showed off my scar as much as a wedding dress can. I guess Dale would have found that gross.
Will we find Dale gross?
Yeah.
Blech.
I want to see that. That sounds weird.
That winky nipple.
I want, yeah. I want you to show the world, including us, your winking nipple. Because we have solidarity with you.
That's right.
Solidarity. Or maybe I'll burn it. Burning it sounds kind of fun because I've been holding back so much on not being destructive in a time where I would have found great, albeit temporary pleasure in burning everything Dale had ever owned.
Yeah.
Burning my dress is something I can do privately that will still be satisfying. I can scream and cry and throw rocks at it, pour lighter fluid over it, watch it burn, and then cook a s'more over it because I love s'mores, so why not? I'm walking away from Dale with my head held high. The best revenge is to walk away as dignified as possible and to not sink to his level. Amen. Amen.
That's it right there.
I was close with his family, but I'm not going to worry about what he tells them. I am positive it won't be the truth. There's no way he's got the balls and decency to tell them what he did. But I know what he did. He knows what he did. And all the people who truly love me and who I am close with will all know what he did. That's all that really matters, though it's nice to have those emails just in case Dale tries to take things too far or something. I'm going to be okay. I'm having one of those empowered moments, though I just spent the last hour in the bathtub sobbing. Like I said, waves. Jake told me that Dale isn't worthy of my quirky nipple, and I agree. When I got in my accident, I was lucky that the shrapnel didn't pierce my heart. I did, however, suffer from a pretty significant heart contusion, basically a bruised heart, among other injuries. It was the most painful thing I've ever experienced. So yeah, this situation makes my head hurt, but my heart has been through much worse and kept on ticking all along.
Bars.
Sorry if I rambled a lot. Posting this to you all is like a form of therapy, and the more thoughts that pop in my mind, I'll just write them down for you all to read. I haven't told my family and other friends yet. Again, Dale doesn't know. I'll be tackling that soon. I'm glad the invites hadn't already been sent. At least I don't have to send out a cancellation notice. I deleted Dale off all social media and blocked his email address. I didn't block him off my phone yet because honestly, I'm curious about his reaction. I can promise you all that I will not respond at all, not to a single text, not to a single call, but I can't help but be interested to see how he reacts. I will block him tomorrow though. Mike told me that the second his messages turn ugly or hateful because I'm not responding, block him. He doesn't want Dale to hurt me any more than he already has. He's right, and I really do plan on blocking him regardless by tomorrow after seeing his initial reaction. I guess that's all I have to update. Thank you all for caring about me. I will continue moving forward, and I will never stop wearing clothes that show my scar. I've never hidden it before, and I'm not going to let some a-hole make me feel like I should. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all for your love. You gave amazing comments and messages, and I will never forget the nice things you all have said to me. Seriously, thank you. And P.S., I think I will dress up as Edward Scissorhands for Halloween. And John.
Yes.
We have another update.
Ooh.
But John,
Yes.
before we get into that update, I guess we don't. I mean, like, do you think he'll get it? Like, do you think he can get it through his pea brain about this vanilla reference?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I was thinking is like, you know, and often on the show, like Opie should low-key be a mascot for this show because she has exemplified all of like the core tenets and principles that we always talk about. So just shout out OP for that. But I was almost like, will he get even if he doesn't like, even if he gets like the big picture, will he get the full totality of everything that this means? Will he be like, oh, hey, is it good to basically explicitly be like, hey, I found all of your emails. I know everything you did. This is over. Just for the sake of, you know, not for him, but for
I do think it would be good to have a little bit more of like, hey, I saw this. It's over. Don't contact me.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to try to contact her.
Right. Which like
he would do so regardless, I think. But
yeah. And it's like, I think she's kind of like, you know, her one little tidbit is like, okay, I want to see his crash out.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I do think maybe if he responds or reaches out, it's like, hey, never contact me again.
Yeah. And then
letting it go.
Well, let's see what happens in this next update.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Oh yeah.
All right. So last night got pretty crazy.
Uh-oh.
Started with Dale playing dumb and asking what was going on and what did he do. Like I promised all of you, I did not respond. The wiener knew exactly what he'd done. He just kept texting and kept texting. One text that I found particularly infuriating was, I can't think of anything I have done to deserve this. Whatever you think I've done isn't true. I'm sure you just misunderstood, and I can explain.
Ah.
I mean, dang, you didn't even have to be so dramatic and just leave me here like this. I love how he was already saying that I just misunderstood what I think he's done and that he can explain. He's such a crap person that he wouldn't even just come out and admit to the emails and say he's sorry. And then to call me dramatic, the text progressed into angry ones. Here is a string of text from him, word for word, except that I corrected some grammar because his grammar is ridiculous. Each text was probably sent about 2 minutes apart, sometimes less. Just so you understand the level of crazy here, I will refer to myself as L in these because he uses my name a lot and my real name starts with an L, so seems appropriate. I blocked him after this, by the way, and here are the texts.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Baby, you know how much I love you. I'm at a loss right now. I don't understand. Why won't you answer me? I just tried calling. L, please pick up. We are getting married. I thought you cared about me. I guess I was wrong.
Oh.
I guess you were cold-hearted. L, baby, are you okay? At least answer me so I know you are okay and not hurt or something. Seriously? L, seriously, you're such a witch. I didn't mean that. I'm just getting really worried and upset. Took about a 20-minute break between that one and this monstrosity.
Oh, God.
You know what? I did mean that. You're an effing witch for doing this. If you were unhappy, you should have told me. I can't believe you would do this to me. I love you. You are just like your father, but even worse because at least your mom is a see you next Tuesday, and so are you. So who can blame him? Don't ever contact me again or come crawling back. And good luck finding someone who will love a effing circus freak witch. Lol, 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 dumb butt. So that's when I blocked him. I know nothing he said was true, but still, this wasn't an email to an ex. This was something he sent me directly. I cried a lot after that one. It hit me pretty hard. This is someone I was planning a future with just a couple of days ago. A few days ago. He was so sweet, as far as I knew, obviously. He used to kiss my hand almost every morning. It's just such a shock. Hard to wrap my mind around it. Last night was a really tough night to get through for me. I keep reading back what I wrote in this update last night, and it helps to keep me from feeling strong. Keep reading all of your lovely comments and messages from the original post, and it helps to keep me feeling loved and strong. Jake and Mike are wonderful, and I'm lucky to have them to hold my hand and help me through this. Though his text hurt me, they also reaffirmed that he's a spineless weasel and that I 1,000% did the right thing by leaving.
Yeah, you did.
He's making it really easy to get over him. Sorry this got so long. I wanted to really include you all in what's happening. Thank you for checking in on me and caring about what happens to me. Love you all. And there's a little update. There's a little bit more.
Oh,
There's a little bit more.
more juice.
Wow, you are all amazing, wonderful people. So much love and support. I had the intention of responding to some comments, but the post is now locked. But I want to say thank you. I had a lot of people asking me if there were any signs Dale was an a-hole. Because what do we say on this show?
How do you not see the red flags? The rose-tinted glasses.
There must have been red flags before, right?
Come
like
on.
There, like now in retrospect, you're like, wait, that was a weird behavior, right?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of red flags to look out for? And honestly, no. I wish I could say yes to that so I could potentially prevent others from going through what I did or something similar. He was very attentive and loving. He never once made fun of my appearance to my face. He seemed to appreciate my ambition and independence. I never felt controlled or criticized for being financially stable and educated woman. I had a therapist after I lost my friend in the accident. My father had also walked out earlier that year, so we were discussing this and how I hadn't seen it coming. My therapist told me that people can make you see whatever they want you to see, but that they can't keep up the facade forever. Things almost always come to a head eventually. The only thing you can do is be secure enough with yourself to understand that the faults of others have nothing to do with you. Just make sure you surround yourself with enough good people that you can afford to lose one or two along the way. And by the way, you should never even try to afford losing us because you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update.
Oh,
and a little bit more to this story. But John, how do we feel with what OP has done and is doing.
I mean, again, just OP kind of has exemplified, I think, all of the things that we like talk about in these stories. She, didn't choose self-destructiveness. She chose like, self-care and like figuring out the best situation for herself. Didn't get sucked into the revenge vortex.
Yep.
And focused on the people that actually were good in her mic, like Jake and Mike. Just also W friends. W freaking friends. Yeah, I mean, she did everything great, and it seemed also her self-security was something that stood out to me as well.
Because I mean, I think something that was cool is some people would see those messages between an ex and maybe stay, or maybe try to convince the partner, hey, like, come back to me.
True.
And I feel like she had enough respect, enough self-respect, and enough boundaries to be like, this is not the right kind of relationship that I want to be in. I'm leaving. And that's not an easy thing to do.
Not at all. Yeah. And I guess he was just so good at masking it. He was able to just like get away with it until she found the evidence of who he really was. So crazy.
So crazy. There's a little bit more to this story, and let's get into it. So I suppose that would be my advice on the matter. Love people openly and let yourself be loved, but always keep a hold of yourself and make sure you have yourself covered should someone let you down along the way. As far as the dress goes, I believe I will take the advice of many of you and donate it to flood victims in Louisiana. It is a beautiful gown. I think what I will burn instead is my reception dress. I've got to burn something. Thanks, Reddit. I sincerely love you all and wish you the best in all of your life endeavors. I might pop back in a few weeks to update you all on how I'm doing. Love, L. And that is where that story ends.
Wow.
What a saga.
What a roller coaster, but look where we've landed. Thank God she landed here.
Yeah.
Imagine she had married and bought a house with him just mere months, potentially
months
weeks
away
after all of this happened.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, well, hopefully no one finds himself in a love like this.
Yep.
Let's hit this next story. We got one more story for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I caught my husband keeping private photos of his exes. It shattered my trust.
Like, what kind of photos?
Oh, God. My husband and I have been dating since 2016 and married since 2020. He's the typical guy who bottles up his feelings and will not share with me any of his innermost thoughts or problems he is facing.
Yikes.
That's not good.
That doesn't sound like too strong of a relationship start.
Nope. From what I can tell, this is the only real issue in our relationship. Well, we'll find out about that. By the way, this comes from Dole Cranberry 6179. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So I want to make it very clear that we have a very loving, spicy, and fun, and at least from my end, openly honest relationship.
Okay.
So up until this point, I thought that the issue of not including me in his innermost thoughts was a problem of communication and not one of deceit.
Oh, no.
Now
but
we know.
I see you in the chat. If you see something wicked coming our way.
He's keeping more than thoughts to himself. He's keeping thoughts to himself.
That he is.
For some background, my ex-husband cheated on me, serial cheater. Wow, sorry to hear that. I found out that our entire relationship had basically been one big lie.
Oh, no.
To make a long story short, it took a long time to get over it, and I will never forget all of the red flags that I missed because I know what to look out for now. Example, X was very protective of his phone, and he never let me near it.
Dude, honestly, such a red flag.
I'm always just like,
here's a phone. Here's a phone. I like if you're protective, I don't know anyone in a relationship that is protective of their phone unless they're planning a surprise for the person.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
And that's a short time limited window. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Maybe they're like prepping for, like, I think the longest time window could be like prepping for a proposal, which might be like 3 months.
Yeah.
Which I guess
we've seen on the show before where someone thinks they're cheating and they're
just prepping for a proposal.
Yeah.
I guess that. Yeah. But that's the only reason.
Yeah. Let us know if you think it's a green flag, phone sharing. Very curious, but we're going to keep going. Now, I am with my current husband, and he has displayed none of those red flag behaviors. He is very open with his phone, gives me his passwords, etc., etc. Anytime I felt he may have been hiding something from me, it does come down to communication breakdown or him saying that he just didn't realize there was an issue, so he didn't think to say anything. Never before has the issue been about spicy sleep or anything related to that or cheating. Husband loves to take photos of me, and I don't mind because we are married, and I know he loves to use them when he's on his own time, if you catch my drift.
All right.
Little solo work there.
There we go.
So, sometimes the duo is great, but you got to do a little solo act. You know what I mean? You got to break out.
Exactly. You need some me time.
Yeah.
Put a little Jackson Pollock painting on your phone screen, like
a little Justin Timberlake to the NSYNC. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now, we have a very active spicy sleep life, and although there have been periods of less spicy sleep, less being once every 1 to 2 weeks, lately things have been going really well, and we've been incredibly intimate. Big intimacy. Last night, he was showing me a collage he made of some photos he took of me doing something spicy. They weren't flattering photos because I had gained weight at the time, so I expressed that it was not nice. I wasn't mad about it. I don't care that he likes to look at it. I just wasn't interested in looking at me in that photo. So basically, I think Opie's like, hey, not mad that you did that, but it's not like, I'm like not personally excited about it. Where maybe he was like, ooh, maybe she'll like this. She'll like that I made this
spicy,
collage of you know, my little lookbook of her.
Wait. So he made a collage of like nude, spicy sleep positions of images that she didn't really know that were being taken.
Of doing something a spicy hobby, I believe. Yes. So it seemed that she was maybe doing her own solo act. Something like that, and then he put together a physical collage.
I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yums, but if a person I was seeing,
what did you just say?
If a person I was seeing took a bunch of secret photos of me and gave me a collage saying, "Here you go. I really like how you look." I think I would be like, yeah, let me check back with you in a little bit.
To be clear, we don't know that there were secret photos because she just previously talked about that he does like to.
But she
have
said
photos of her.
I didn't like this photo. I had not seen this photo.
I don't.
She didn't like how she looked in this photo because she said she gained weight, so she obviously hadn't seen that photo before.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean,
dude,
I think
a collage
sounds
freaking. Hey, again. Not trying to yuck yums. If you want a spicy collage of yourself, hey, more power to you. But I'm just saying, if someone I was seeing gave me a spicy collage of myself, I would be like, oh, I don't know. How do you even react to that? That's so weird. I feel like, Riley made a collage for his girl. So like maybe Riley would do that. Is that something you would do?
A scrapbook, yeah. A scrapbook. Not that.
Yeah, a scrapbook of
our relationship over the past year.
All parts of your relationship?
Yeah, dude.
Not all parts.
You gotta bear yourself, bro. Come on.
Yeah, come on. You didn't like authentically express all the different parts of you.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
You know what? You are covering yourself in the dark and disruptive cloth of secrecy.
Yeah, exactly. You should really just let all of it be open.
You're shrouding your
parts.
true nature.
Exactly. Your true nature.
It would have been hard because it always happened in the dark. So how am I supposed to take pictures
on?
No.
Dude, why not?
I don't want to.
Are you always in the dark?
Always.
No.
Really?
He goes in the shower. That's a solo act. You're in the shower, and your shrouds of mystery are not covering you. That's all you need.
Okay.
That's all we're saying, guys.
Are you talking about Riley's solo acts in his shower?
Not his solo acts. To be clear, him literally just using the shower in a normal sense.
Oh, okay.
That is a case where the shrouds of secrecy are not there, and
that's a good thing.
And the lights are on. That is the point I was trying to make.
They know too much.
Explicitly. Yeah. Anyways. Back to this.
Are you guys a lights on or lights off kind of person? Put your answers in the chat below.
Let us know.
I like to move between the two.
You're a.
I like to flick it off.
Yeah. Nosferatu.
Strobe lights. Yeah, Nosferatu.
Anywho, let's get back to our story here. So, last we left off, the grand reveal of the spicy picture collage was just revealed. I just wasn't interested in looking at me in that photo. There are tons of photos where I look hot AF, but if he wants the ugly ones too, whatever, have fun. I go to bed right after that and laid my head on his chest. At bedtime, we will often lay this way and I'll watch as he plays a game or scrolls the Chive or Reddit or something like that. Like I said, no red flags so far. I know he has a locked folder on his phone because he installed the same app/folder on my phone. I save important files there. I know he saves his nudies of me there. No problem.
Okay.
Well, as I laid my head down and I looked at his phone, he immediately tilted the screen, which obscures it because he has one of those screen covers that make it so you can only see it from straight on.
Bro,
and then close
man
the
is
app.
too secretive. I don't trust. What are you hiding? What are you hiding?
What are you hiding, brother? Come on now. From what I could see, it looks like a bunch of thumbnails of unclothed bodies, different lighting or skin tones maybe. I couldn't tell if they were photos or videos or both. It was such a quick glance, I would have just assumed that they were just more photos of me, but because he hit it immediately and he has never done this before, of course, I was suspicious. Also, really quick, we had this in the last story. Is this probable cause? Is this enough of a window for OP to go in and investigate a little bit further?
I think we got a little probable cause.
Also, kind of the context of the collage before. It's just
The collage,
it's getting a little
weird.
Suspicious.
It's a little weird,
suspicious.
but this is more suspicious than the collage is just weird.
Yeah.
This is like
suspicious. Yes. I asked him what it was. I can't remember exactly how it went, but basically I had to ask him several times. First, he told me it closed down, referring to the app. I responded, yeah, because you closed it down. So I asked again, what was that? He started to say on repeat like a broken record, years and years, or maybe it was years ago. It was a few words. He wouldn't answer my question. He would just say, oh, years and years ago. It's just years. Time. It's space-time. Or whatever. He said that like 4 or 5 times. Finally, I said, so those are photos from years ago? Yeah. From exes? Yes. From before you.
Keeping photos of your exes in a special folder is a special folder that we know you frequent is a little whack.
Literally and metaphorically illegal.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
I don't know if illegal, but I don't
illegal to me. In the court of John,
Yeah,
I don't know
illegal.
about illegal, but
I'm passing that law.
Thank you, Senator Riley. Senator Riley.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The special folder, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. It's a little weird.
Opie doesn't either. She responded with, oh, wow. And I turned away. Immediately, I felt nauseated. It usually takes me a long time to wrap my head around how I feel about a thing. I don't tend to overreact or be emotional, but there are some things that cut me to my core because they do remind me of my ex and how my life fell apart. Remember, she had this crazy cheating ex. The whole relationship was a lie. Husband knows about my ex-husband and all of that, and he's not a stupid man, so I do believe that he knew that this would hurt me. Why else would he have hid it for 8 years? My knee-jerk reaction was to tell him to delete everything he had of me. I didn't even care to ask him to delete his exes because if he had wanted to do that, he would have already. Because I did not want this man looking at me that way. I felt so violated. I resisted the impulse to ask him to delete for like 2 minutes, but then I just blurted out, I want you to delete all of your photos and videos of me. I feel gross knowing that you have them now. I say yes.
I think you can ask that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, are they about to be married?
No, they're married.
They're married?
They're married. Husband and wife.
Yeah.
I think I would probably have a conversation if I had found my partner did this. I don't know if I would ask to delete all the pictures of me, but I would be like, why do you have all these photos of these exes? Like, this doesn't make me feel safe. Or I would have more of a conversation.
And I think in fairness, Opie kind of alluded to like, I don't usually have like a kind of like
knee-jerk reaction like this,
emotional this I think felt like in the moment when her head understandably was clouded with like what the F?
Yeah.
What the F? I heard him tapping on his phone and he muttered trash, like he was putting them in the trash. That also sus. This guy is weird. I'm sorry. But I know how much he has and I know how phones work, so I'm not naive.
How much does he have?
8 years worth.
Man,
plus years before before the 8 years of the marriage, the relationship.
I think I can count on like both hands the amount of and toes the amount of spicy amount of spicy pics like that I've received. I
do not believe that. I'm so sorry.
I'm not like a texter. I don't know. I feel like it's like unless you're in a long distance relationship, that I think would push those numbers up.
Yep.
But like, I don't know, to have like a whole folder of it just feels a little odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not like to yuck someone's yum, but to have all the exes, I feel like that is
clear. Yeah, that's like
I don't know if it's instant breakup for me, but it would definitely be a hard conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think that it is a huge indicator of it could be you're completely checked out of the relationship in the spicy sleep world.
But
you know what I mean?
It doesn't seem like they're like completely like they're having like pretty
that
regular.
Is true. That is that we do have the context of that. I think it's just there's something it's part of the commitment. I feel like, and I know there's all obviously like spicy videos that like a lot of couples are like totally fine with. But I think there's something about it being a person that you specifically had a connection with in the past.
Yeah.
And the context in which those were exchanged that makes it a whole different ballgame than spicy videos.
And it's also like it's not like I forgot to delete them on my phone. You know, like this is a dedicated folder that he is like preserved and selected. You know,
8 years deep. But this was before their 8-year relationship. He said years and years ago before their 8-year relationship. So he is safe. And again, a context that would have been different had they been dating for 3 months. And then he's like, oh, geez, I forgot to delete this thing from my last fling from like 8 months ago or something. No,
that's a different story.
That's a different story. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not looking too good. I also think like my other question is this tip of the iceberg.
I think there's only one way to find out. So Opie says, but I know how much he has. I know the phones work, so I'm not naive to think as he that he has actually deleted all of it completely. I also know it was a big ask of him because we are talking about 8 years of material. There's a lot. The portfolio is large, but I feel so violated. I just couldn't help myself. I laid in bed waiting for him to say anything for probably 20 minutes. I can't remember. I eventually left to sleep in the other room. Husband made zero attempts to talk to me about it. I feel so many things and also nothing at all. This shows me that my husband does not respect women. I feel disrespected occasionally by him in the past, but again, I chalked most of it up to his poor communication skills. I do not want to say that overall. I do find him to be a very kind and caring man, and also I tend to feel disrespected probably more easily than most, as this is a huge pet peeve of mine, because remember her history with her cheating ex-husband. To be fair, me feeling disrespected in the past was probably 80% me overreacting, and 20% of those times were actually justified. Again, I can count on one hand the amount of times this has happened, so not frequent, over 8 years. I feel so bad for those women that he has kept this past end of their relationship way past the actual relationship. I know guys keep stuff like this, but this is such a violation, not just the keeping of it, but very clearly that he has kept it handy for years and years. Mind you, we have switched phones multiple times since we have been together. He has transferred these photos carefully from phone to phone. That's right. I mean, 8 years, you're going to move phones a lot. So he's moved it from phone to phone so that he can have them available to look at. As mentioned, I feel totally disgusted that I've let this man look at me, touch me, take photos of me. I immediately felt violated. I don't know if this constitutes the ick completely, but I guess that's what the kids call it nowadays. And worst of all, what else could he be hiding? I don't think this is itself divorce worthy, but that last bit, number 4, I'm afraid to even talk about it.
Yeah, I also don't think it's divorce worthy. I think it's a pretty big I think it's pretty big, deserves a conversation.
Yeah.
If this is all,
yeah,
like I think this could be remedied. It's like, hey, delete that. That's not okay.
Mm-hmm. I am afraid to even talk about it because I feel like I will come up with one of two solutions. There is a lot more that he is hiding, and it will be enough to end the marriage. Or number two, I end up feeling that he is not being forthcoming and I'm able to trust him again, which will also inevitably end the marriage.
Well,
I am frighteningly confident that number two would be the outcome given his issues with communication. I didn't realize how confident I was with this until I started crying as I typed it.
Tragic.
I've told my husband so many times that I never want a divorce again, how horrible divorce is, even without kids involved. Thankfully, we have none, and I did not have any with my ex. He knows that I was cheated on. He knows I have zero tolerance, so he knows exactly what he needs to keep hiding from me. And if he kept those photos hidden for 8 years, what else could he have kept hidden?
Yeah, again, this is an 8-year relationship.
Yes.
This is long
time, and all of the exes, and exes allegedly, we don't even know, would be before that time.
Yeah.
We're taking it at face value.
And also, I mean, he's been secretive for like most of that relationship that she's said.
He doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk.
I am very trusting of him, and I don't pry, even though we have access to each other's things. I have never gone looking, and I was very confident there was nothing to find, even if I did. How do I proceed? I think counseling is likely in order, and he has suggested it in the past. So the good news here is that I know he will do it. Unfortunately, I also know couples counseling is not covered by our insurance, which is what kept us from actually doing it in the past. Am I overreacting? Again, I'm not naive. I know guys keep photos of their exes. I'm sure I have some on my Apple ID in the black hole of the internet out there somewhere that I haven't just bothered to sift through once I moved on. However, I feel that there is a difference that I'm not revisiting these photos on the regular.
100%.
Agreed.
Having photos of exes, like I have like 20,000 or 50,000
exes.
No, 50,000 photos on like my camera. Like the people aren't going to go through every single one of their photos, right? Like that's just unreasonable. What is reasonable is not having a special folder dedicated to this. Like that is completely different than you maybe having a stray photo in 50,000 photos, right?
Exactly.
So I would say, I would still say this is not divorce worthy in itself, because like I think this could be worked through. I still think it is pretty like confidence and trust shaking.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if this is the only thing, and if it's not the tip of the iceberg, maybe with like counseling and a lot of communication they could get through, but only if he's down to communicate. And if he's not down to communicate, then it might be too much of a hurdle to move through.
I think that the kind of like hidden thing that we haven't addressed is, we've addressed it to some, is like, I feel like a part of this package would be like, you need to start like communicating, how you feel, and like get to a reasonable pace of communication. Otherwise, even if we fix like all of the, the nude stuff, I feel like at this point she needs that for her trust, right?
Yeah. I think there needs to be more post this incident.
Indeed. Opie says, I feel the difference is that I'm not revisiting photos on the regular and would prefer not to see them at all. I know I have to discuss this with them, but how can I when he is so bottled up? Does anyone have an experience with a partner who you have to basically drag any bit of vulnerability out of? It takes me time to fully understand my emotions and to put that into a coherent thought so I can even have a conversation with him. But I also know the cold shoulder is no good. I just don't feel ready to talk to him yet. Should I force myself to have this conversation despite not feeling ready? I don't want to continue to enforce this idea that it's okay for us to not communicate at all. I just don't feel ready. Perspective, advice, words of wisdom, or encouragement, I will take it all. I do not want to divorce my husband, so please don't suggest that. Trust me, I am usually on the divorce this turd bandwagon, but I genuinely do not feel that this is divorce worthy. I am, however, afraid that what the fallout of this may be. We have, I believe, our final update.
Wow.
But quick thoughts on Opie's thing here. Should she go and confront him yet?
I mean, hey, you need to communicate early and often. You need to get him to communicate. But again, like I think be prepared going into this ask for more communication, that he might not be able or willing to meet you where you need to be met to get through this. And so while I may agree, like this in itself might not be divorce worthy. This unresolved may be divorce worthy.
Yeah.
But my question, John, is: do you think this is the tip of the iceberg? Like, are you getting any clues that this may be a little bit deeper?
I think what does make me think that is the fact that he is non-communicative.
Yeah.
And
so protective of his phone, like the screen,
of his phone.
the like not letting her like look at his phone. Really, I mean, he is
the dedicated app.
The dedicated app. Like, I think someone who's that protective of their device is either about to propose or is hiding something.
And he already proposed.
We're
way past that.
So, I feel like it's maybe cheating. But hey, don't like invest in that before having a conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
And two, to quickly answer OP's question, I think you could say, hey, I want to have this conversation, but I need to process my thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm not ready right now, but just know that that's coming. You can communicate what's in your head, even if it isn't coherent yet. But we have our final update, boys and girls. I confronted him. He told me that he spent all last night deleting every one of the photos of his exes as well as mine that I asked. He even went through backups.
On his hard drives.
Just force us the word.
Hey,
we dig into it.
The backups.
God, that's crazy.
Backup.
I asked
he
him.
has him on like a hard drive.
Yes, bro. Like he has the full, three sources
and
set up.
Babe, I mean, you know how things can be in a fire. I also have them printed out in a fireproof safe.
Babe, all of the best, film people say you got to have it stored in three places. I don't know what to tell you. So I asked him why he kept them, and he said he had forgotten they were there / didn't have a reason. I called BS. They're in a folder he actively manages with photos of me. He told me he had 3 photos for me, 1 from a corn star he used to like, and 3 folders of his exes. Also, the level of organization. It just gets more sus.
For a corn star. Again, like, hey, like, I don't want to be like, oh, that's like gross,
Yeah.
Because again, if it's not like with the corn, like specifically focusing on the corn star folder, I feel like it's a little tacky at the very least.
The folder is like too much. It feels obsessive.
It feels, yes, that's freaking right on the nose, John. Yeah, it feels obsessive, and it's like I in the same way, it's different to have a stray photo somewhere deep in your photo catalog versus like obsessing over a curated list of these photos. I think it's different. Watching some actresses on screen engaging in some of the best performances you may have seen.
Mm-hmm. A lot of great solo acts out there.
A lot of great solo acts, one woman shows, may you ask. Like watching that in, just like sporadically versus having a dedicated folder. It just feels obsessive.
Yeah.
And that I think is a red flag.
That's what we don't like.
Yeah.
So he claims to not look at them. Again, I call BS, but he would not concede that he has been actively looking at them. He said his response of hiding the phone was because he knew I would be upset. I countered that that he knew it would upset me, and he clearly knew he had the photos still. Why not just delete them previously? No reason. And he hasn't kept them for any reason. Again, I called BS. My husband is not this dense. I was very firm, but he stood his ground. I asked about affairs, any possibly way I could think to. All answers were no. However, I still don't feel like I can trust him because I am completely unsatisfied with the answers around the nudie photos.
Me too.
Yeah, the trust is the foundation of the relationship. The trust is not there right now.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe he is sorry. However, I just don't know why he is sorry yet. As in, is he sorry he got caught or is he sorry that he hurt me? He is scheduling counseling. I told him that we would split the cost. And we have an update number 2. I think this will be a surprise final update, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
After a second discussion, he finally admitted that they were on purpose and he used them to one-hand clap. And I'm not talking about that. He admitted it to doing as recently as a year ago, but I feel that this is probably untrue. By the way, Sam, you know what something that is true.
What is true, John?
That you can get full episodes of stories just like this, for better or for worse, by searching OK Storytime on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the iHeartRadio app for a vault of 2,000 podcast episodes for your listening pleasure.
Whoo, baby.
But ladies and gentlemen, we've got this final part of the saga. OP says, I am not terribly concerned about when he used them. What bothers me is that he is still very clearly being dishonest and hiding something else. He will not say what it is, but I am 100% confident that there is more. I later told him that if he wants to try and save our marriage, he will need to be open and honest about whatever he is ashamed of, because our marriage is doomed if he can't do that. We cannot survive more secrecy. Of that, I'm certain. Counseling is scheduled, and that is where we leave it.
Woo. This
All
is
right.
Og says, trickle truth.
Trickle truth.
I feel like we're getting a little trickle truth.
He's gooning the truth.
He's gooning the truth.
Yeah,
you know?
just
getting it right,
just
right
get it
on the
out.
edge. Yeah, just
Get it
freaking
out.
release it. Put it out, you know. Caitlin Van Campus says, yeah, I think he's addicted. Yeah, corn addiction,
Yeah.
real thing. A lot of men suffer from.
Oh,
It
yeah.
seems like he definitely is that. And, you know, like, I think corn is very, you know, popularized in like just like I don't think I think it is damaging for the brain
Yeah.
in like high doses.
But low doses.
Low dose. Honestly, even in low doses, like I feel like I like have gone back and forth with like corn usage, and generally I feel happier, healthier, and have better relationships with women when I'm not watching it.
Who needs it?
Yeah, but hey, you know, low doses is fine. I think maybe not. I
Samuel
don't know.
Donner, the anti-corn man.
I'm
Just
not
kidding.
anti.
Just kidding. Just kidding. We're playing. Sir. But Sam, that's all. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.